You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com.
It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast, in 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. For 4 years, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all of the 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and go out and vote now.
All right, everybody. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The Outer Realm in the category of Best Female Hosted Podcast. The Outer Realm is a very popular show hosted by Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, which boasts millions of listeners each week for well known for and have been complimented on their very laid-back, roundtable style of interviewing. Together, this dynamic duo brings you the best of the best with guests from around the world who are well-versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, esoteric, and other areas of high strangeness, and more. So go to podcastawards.com to nominate The Outer Realm in the category Best Female Hosted Podcast. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Into the Night with Shawn and Tara. So our guest who we're going to have on tonight, Shawn Lawrence from Shawn Wave Films, is going to be a little late today, say like around 8:30 or so. But I just met the gentleman last Friday, and the guy's good. I mean, he's a good investigator. He has all types of video equipment, and he's really in tune with the paranormal. How we met was a friend of mine asked me to come over and check this house out, and I went over there, and what happened was Shawn decided to come in. They invited Shawn to come along, and we walked through the house, and he was shooting some film and stuff like that, and I was really impressed. He's a good dude. He's a great man. He has wonderful equipment. So he's going to be on a little bit later tonight. So if you can, stick around for a little bit, that would be good. Also, Tara, she's kind of busy, but she should be here by 9 o'clock, a little after 9 o'clock. So in the meantime, it's just going to be me until Shawn gets on. So how was it? Oh, by the way, before I go on, I am on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi, and we're also on Roku. And since my journey started with UPRN, it really, when I first started, we were low on the totem pole, just brand new to all this stuff. And all of a sudden, by just working with Joe and working with Michelle and working with others, I was a co-host before on the show, Chasing Prophecy, and little bit like every week, every year, we just grew and grew and grew. And I have to say that this has been a really, really good awakening for me. Um, I have heard from the best Bigfoot hunters. I've heard from the best UFO alien hunters, and all kinds of other different things. And what's really unique about that is all the other shows on this channel. I mean, he's UPRN goes from, we start on Monday with the shows on Monday, Lorley's, show, and then the other ones. No, I'm funny because I know these shows off by heart, but when it comes down to talking and trying to remember, I kind of like forget. So that, so kind of like I lost track. But I'm very sorry for the other shows that are on Monday. And then on Tuesday, there's me, Into the Night, with Shawn and Tara. And then you got Trish Moe, who will be on after us. And she has an awesome show. You got to stick around for her because she comes up with a lot of good topics to talk about. She has a lot of good guests. So please stick around after me. And then you got Joe Montaldo, who has Writers of the Future and The Outer Realm with Michelle. And it just goes on. And they talk about everything. Any subject that you want to talk about, you have to tune into UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. If you tune in, you're going to learn a lot. I sure as hell learned a hell of a lot by just being on this channel. So how was everybody's week this week? I tell you what, the last 2 or 3 days, it was great here in Pittsburgh. The weather was cooler. Even though, I don't know, I must be going through some hot flashes or something, or menopause, if you want to call it that, because, man, I just burning up. I still need my air conditioner. I don't know if I need it for, the cold, for noise so I can sleep, or is it because I'm just hot and I need to, my body temperature to go down. But it's been very, very cool. You can breathe a little better. My garden is doing great. I mean, my tomatoes are coming in real nice. My cucumbers, I'm not sure about them, but they are growing. But if anybody out there is listening to this program tonight, my cucumbers are orange. And now, I don't know if they're overripe. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know, but I have never, ever seen orange cucumbers before. So if you guys are out there, please stop in, say hello, leave a message, and maybe you can help me out with a couple ideas on dealing with cucumbers. But I do have to say that my tomatoes came in. I did pull my other potato plant, the other potatoes that I was growing. And you know what? I was highly disappointed about it. I wasn't really getting the potatoes that I thought I should be getting like I did the first time. I mean, these suckers were small. But you know what? This is my first year doing a garden. And it's funny, I heard a comment about it, and what they were saying, like, you spend $1,000 just to get 3 or 4 tomatoes. That's true. But you know what was different about all this? Okay. I researched the paranormal for the longest time. I prospected gold and just was so heavily involved with the paranormal, with the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, that when, it was crazy. One day I was just saying, hey, you know what? I got to do something else since I retired. And so I decided to plant a garden, and it doesn't take up all my time, but you know what? It keeps me busy. you know, and that's what I enjoy. It keeps me nice and busy, and just to see something grow from greens, it's pretty awesome. I just enjoy it. But my guest tonight, Shawn Lawrence from Shawn Films. Um, he's when he investigates the paranormal, he's like I told you before at the opening, he's more into the videographic, video stuff, the cameras, all the equipment, and and as I was talking to him Friday night, I learned a little bit from him. You know, I saw the enthusiasm in his eyes when he talks about it. It was just like um, he is so in tune about setting up all his equipment, setting up all his videos, his cameras, and what he uses. And now I've been around a lot of people that, a lot of techies that have, good cameras. And I mean, techies and the ones that um, who have all the equipment, okay, I give them kudos, every one of them, because what they have to get, and you know what I mean, it's a spendy hobby, buying all that equipment and stuff like that just to get trying to get just that shot, just to go and get that EVP, or go and and setting the camera up and hopefully catch an image crossing your camera. Now, I've been around for a while, and trust me, I have seen, a lot of things that were captured on film. I've seen a lot of entities. I've seen a lot of orbs. I've seen a lot of mist. I've seen it all on video and um, regular pictures. But if you look at the other side of the video cameras, and you look at the other side, and I'm not saying that I'm a skeptic, okay, because I'm not. I believe this stuff works, okay. But there are a lot of people out there who, like, whenever a techie gets a group gets a good picture, a good we'll say apparition, right? And they knock it, and I'm like, I want to fight them. I just want to go to them and tell them straight up, listen, you weren't there. So you cannot come and tell me that it's nothing. Either A, you're jealous, B, you just want to be a pain in the butt, or C, you wish you could do what my techies could have done. But being the person that I am, okay, I respect what everybody else comes up with. But what really, really bothers me the most about it is that, people try to shove it in your face and try to mockery the group, mockery the guy who took the film, took the video. I mean, there is still questions out there, how does the image that you get on the video, how's it come up? I mean, if anybody's out there, please explain it to me, because a lot of people have done a lot of experiments and stuff like that, and some come up with conclusions, some don't. Now, I know they say that spirit, there's like 7 different levels out there, like 7 different realms, and say like you are videoing and you catch something walking across or coming up to your camera, and you say, well, what realm are you on? Are you on number 3? Are you on number 5? Are you on number 7? Are you down on number 2? So we really don't know where these these things that come up, these entities or whatever you want to call them, comes up on video um, or regular pictures. So um, I have a lot of faith in the cameras. I have a lot of faith in the EVPs, and I have a lot of faith in all the equipment, the REM pods, the EVPs, the K2 meters. To me, like I said, and I'll keep saying it till the day I die, K2 meters are the best piece of equipment you can ever have. Okay. Honest to God, to me, it is the best. And if anybody doesn't know what a K2 meter is, okay, it picks up electromagnetic fields, right? And what that does is, because a spirit is pure energy, okay? It's totally pure energy. And so what it does is that when you use this K2 meter and all of a sudden it starts going from green to red, like this, there is something in front of you. Now, a lot of people come back will say, well, you know what? It could have been set off by a microwave, and I've heard that many a times. Or it's because, there's old wiring in the house, or there's outside and you get the overhead power lines, and you know, they go out and do their best to try to debunk the K2 meter. But being an investigator, and whoever's in groups out there, that you have to take a base reading around that house, around that room in which you are investigating, okay? And you take that base reading, you go around, you check out the outlets, if there's a good ground wire, then, that K2 meter will not, go off. But so you make that round, the thing around the room with the K2, and then if you got a good steady stream of green, then you're okay. So that when you start asking questions for the spirit to come touch the K2 meter, okay, and all of a sudden that thing starts flickering. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind, and I will take it to the grave, that that is definitely a spirit, okay. I make it a habit. I mean, if you have a cell phone, it definitely is triggered by cell phone. So if you have a cell phone turned on and you put it right by the K2 meter, okay, you're actually, okay, are setting that thing off. So you're getting a false reading from that. So what I like to do, and what I like to tell people to do when we're investigating with the K, hey, Tony, good to see you, buddy. So what I like to tell people what to do is, put their phones on airplane mode, okay? Because eventually, you'll be able to go, like, take a break in a couple hours afterwards, and then you can check up on your emails and your text messages and stuff like that. But for anybody starting out that, wants to use that K2 meter, sweet. Seriously, put your phone on airplane mode, or don't even bring your phone in, right? And it will be, and then you'll be, hey, hey, Mandy, good to see you. Hi, Brandon, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. So it's like you'll get a good reading. And there has been a lot of good K2 pickups, But what is really cool about that, right, is if you go in and you start doing the K2 session, right, or if you got, what the hell they call dowsing rods, whatever you're using, it's always nice and it's always cool to have somebody filming it, okay, to actually film you actually doing a K2 session. Because if I tell you that, I went to this house and I was in this room and K2 was going off and blah, 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 people are going to laugh at me. They're going to be like, yeah, right, sure. Yeah, tell me another one. And that's when the video kicks in, okay? That's when the video of the K2 session that is going on. So people who have video cameras, the techie guys that know what they're doing, okay, it's very important that they know what what they have to do in order to make it right. You know, like I tell a lot of people too, the best camera for me to use, right? You know, a lot of people who do know me, I use deer cameras, trail cams. Trail cams are the best. Okay, I have about four of them right now, and so what I do is I set the cameras up, the trail cams, and I put them in specific places in the house or even not in the cemetery. Uh, I put them wherever I'm at. I make strategically place the deer cams. And what's so cool about it, right? You can set it for a still shot, or you can set it for three or 10-second, video. And what's great about it is that the only time that it kicks on is when somebody walks in front of the trail cam. And I have gotten a lot of good apparitions, a lot of good, what am I going to say? A lot of shadows. And then there's times that the camera goes off, right? When the camera goes off, and we look at the picture, we look at the video, and there's nothing there. But the camera still goes off. And those are very good cameras in which I have. So there's no glitches in them. So who set that camera off? Who set it off? Who knows? But all I know is that trail cams are the best. K2 meters are the best. And I'm speaking for myself. Okay, I'm speaking for myself. So anybody out there right now, whoever is listening or is in the chat room, can you tell me what type of equipment you like to use on your paranormal investigations? Any questions that you have for equipment, Shaun will be on. Okay, Shaun will be on. And you can post your questions and you can save them, come up with some good questions, and maybe he'll definitely, absolutely will give you, the correct, more than likely the correct answers and stuff like that. So, Omar, hey Omar, glad to meet you. Something with heat vision. Oh, okay. All right, let me put that up. Okay, Omar says something with heat vision. Yeah, those are, what do they call them? I used to work with one. Thermal imaging cameras is what they're called. And they're pretty neat too. To get a good, very good thermal imaging camera, you'll be surprised what you can pick up, right? Pick up a human being, like a regular person, and they're hot, so it's going to turn yellow. But what's amazing about the thermal imaging, okay, it's great. I mean, hey, Doreen, good to see you. Doreen says flare cameras. Yes, flare cameras. Thank you for telling me that, Doreen. I appreciate that. Say, Sebastian, good to see you, pal. Infrared and thermal imaging, Shaun. Thank you very much, guy. You mean flare, not, okay, floor. Maybe that's a new camera you can come out with, Doreen. A floor camera. But that's cool. Doreen is a very good paranormal investigator. Extremely good. She knows her stuff about cameras, and she's very intuitive too. So there's some Anthony the same way. Anthony Sabelos, he's out there. He's in from Texas, and he's very good at what you know a lot with the cameras and stuff like that, the EVPs and stuff like that. So don't forget, keep your questions in mind. We should have Shaun Lawrence coming on, and maybe we can ask him the questions and he'll give us the answers. Doreen, what was your favorite piece of equipment? What camera was yours, if you're still in there, hon? And if you're still in, Tony, what about yours? Okay, have you heard, Sebastian says, have you heard about night vision that is red, used in Vietnam? Sebastian, I haven't. I haven't heard about that, but that's pretty interesting. Maybe I can do a little bit of research, and come next week, I'll be able to come back with an answer about using that night vision that is red. Doreen says she likes the flare camera for sure. But it's really cool when you get a flare and you're looking into the flare, and all of a sudden you see blue, red, yellow, orange, whatever. But it definitely does pick up spirits, and it actually does pick up ghosts. Because I've seen it, you know. Um, but hopefully, Shawn will be coming on pretty soon, and we can start talking to him about it. So that's basically what, you know, equipment is very important for an investigation. It really is. Okay. But if it, I mean, don't break the bank. Don't break the bank. Um, Doreen says also picks up wild animals that I may encounter. That's true. Sebastian says it's very interesting, Shawn. It's alleged that they saw demonic creatures. Whoa! I'll be damned. I'm gonna have to check that out, dude. In fact, I'm gonna write that down right now. Uh, hmm. That's creepy. I'm definitely gonna look into that. And yes, what kind of wild animals that you picked up on the flare camera, Doreen, if you care to share? Um, so it's like, well, I've seen some. So I was, you know, when after you have to go to the bathroom, you know, you go outside and deer and a bear. Oh, sweet. Maureen's picked up a deer and a bear on her floor. But also, there's other things, you know, whenever you really seriously need to go and someone decides to pull a trick on you and uses a flare on you, and of course, stuff happens. And yeah, it comes out yellow and bright. I don't know. I'll get off that in a minute, and like right now. So, so yes, everything that is needed for a investigation, a big part is definitely the equipment, um, and also um, besides all the equipment and all the techie stuff that goes on, there's other parts of an investigation too, that you got your sensitives, um, you've got your mediums, so when I first started PPS, it was really crazy, because at that time there was a big battle between the scientific part of paranormal and there was the spiritual side of paranormal investigating. And seriously, honest to God, that was a big fight because everything had to be um, scientific to these people. And so you had people that went out and they tried to debunk everything, and they just could not debunk it. They tried to debunk video, pictures, whatever, you know. Um, but it was hard at the beginning. It really, really was hard. President Trump must be coming on because it's 8:30 and everybody's leaving the chat, or else or I'm being boring to y'all. You know, I don't want to try to be boring, but you know, nice to get some of the people back into the chat. Like again, my guest, Shawn Lawrence, who's from Shawn Wave Films. He should be coming on pretty soon. And we definitely got Tara coming in next week. Next hour. So, how many out there besides Doreen has actually been on an investigation? If anybody's in the chat room, because I know Doreen's been on a ton of them. And like I said, she's a very good investigator. Doreen, what's the name of your group now? I forget. If you want to post it, then I could tell everybody about it. So, if anybody out there has ever been on an investigation, I would really, really like to hear about it. you know. I want to hear what your favorite haunts were, what your favorite piece of evidence that you got. If you're not in it and if you're hearing this, oh, you have been on Sebastian. Okay, good. Did you enjoy him? Sebastian's a good person. He's a really good dude. Um, did you enjoy being on him? Omar says so much footage of the troops in Iraq back in 2004 shows paranormal encounters. Let me put that up for everybody to see. So much footage of the troops in Iraq back in 2004 shows paranormal encounters. You know what? I believe you, Omar, on that because if you look at it, especially when it comes to UFOs and when it comes to aliens, okay, um, during wartime, okay, especially in Vietnam, any war, that's when the UFOs kick in. That's when the aliens kick in, and that's also when, um, you know, you know, ghosts, I guess, if you want to say it, because you got to figure that there is so much hurt. Okay, there's so much hurt and pain going on there, buddy, that you're everyone's releasing this energy out in the air. And, okay, and it's fear and it's anger and all kinds of negative energy that's just seeping from your body, and it's like, and what it's doing, it's attracting all the spirits around because spirits are attracted to all that. Um, so that's the best thing I could tell you. I appreciate you showing me that, Omar. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more. I'll do some more research on that myself. And Sebastian goes, absolutely. Tingle Hall. I'm going to write this down. Uh, what did you pick up at Tingle Hall, buddy? Um, what kind of evidence? Did you get any evidence at Tingle Hall? You want to talk about a little bit of it? And well, if he wants to talk about it, and Goose Nar. Ooh, I don't know about Goose Nar. This has to be over in England. Yeah, but Sebastian goes. He did some Virgils at taverns also. I bet you it's really crazy over there in England, definitely. But so that's basically all the whole setup with going in and doing an investigation. There is so much more that you want, um, so much more that includes on an investigation. But if you are able to go and sit in a room, okay, with the lights out, no one in, and talking to something that might not be there, then go for it. Go for it. Personally, what I like to do a lot of is cemeteries. I really do, because cemeteries, they're there, okay, and also it's a proven fact that it is proven fact that cemeteries are sacred ground. You know what I mean? And that's why when I go into a cemetery, I feel safe, you know? But when I go into the cemetery, I always show respect to the spirits that are there because it is their home. Okay? That is where they reside. That's where they're buried. And that's their home. My question to some people saying that if you go in and you start raising a ruckus, they're going to get kind of mad at you. You know what I mean? They're going to get mad, right? And that's not good because you might get hurt if you do such a thing like that. So it's like saying, would you want somebody to come into your own house, sit down, and just call you every name in the book? I don't think so. Sebastian goes, uh, some audibles, scratching, bangs in rooms. Friend was attacked twice. Him and his friend were attacked twice. Once in front of me and another friend. Oh wow! What else we got here? He goes electrical formings with burning smells. That's interesting, dude. That's kind of creepy, because to me that would sound like that someone was set a fire at that tavern or something like that, you know, and that would definitely be creepy, you know. So Omar, I'm getting back to Omar here. He says they made a movie about his life, Deliver Us from Evil, 2014. Is the Ralph Sarchi story is spine chilling. Um, so all kinds of stuff like that can happen. I've been on some really crazy, insane, freaking investigations. I have been, but you know what? For me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was always very protective of my group when we went in. I mean, if I knew it was a little too nasty to go in, um, I would not send my people, and I'd have to go in and do it myself. And I'm telling you, I don't do it for egotistical in situations like that. I do it because I'm the founder of the group. I'm the boss of the group, and I do not put any safety is very big to me. Safety is really big. Now you go on and you see on these TV shows where people will go out and be on an investigation by themselves, sitting in a room by themselves. See, I don't believe in that. I believe, well, they do have the cameraman filming them, right? But to me, if somebody just to do it, you know, by themselves, I have a hard time with that because somebody, you have to do the PAL system. You have to have somebody there with you. Um, or let me see. Okay, no answer from Shawn yet. So, well, we'll see. Maybe he's still out there, but hopefully he can get on tonight because I'm about to. I'm really looking forward to hearing his story. You know. So, how is everybody's evening going on so far? Um, have you watched any interesting ghost stories? Oh, here we go. Speaking of, he's here. And without ado, here's my friend Shawn Lawrence of Shawn Wave Plus. Hey,
Hello, can you guys hear me?
yeah, I can hear you pretty good, buddy.
That's good. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity for allowing me to join your stream. Thank you very much.
Shawn, the world, Shawn.
Hi, everyone.
so, so tell me how, we were talking last Friday. We met, we did, I saw you doing a little bit of investigation with your equipment. What actually got you into the paranormal and when did you start?
Well, actually, I got into the paranormal, I said about a decade ago, and it was basically I was at the Gettysburg Park in PA, Pennsylvania, and a buddy of mine named Matt, we went to the Bloody Wheat Field to see if we can try to get anything, and we were actually able to capture a voice saying, "Get out, get out." I thought maybe it was you know, somebody joking around trying to scare us or whatnot, some kids or whatever. And then I came to realize that no, it's not humanly possible to say get out way to the left and then and way to the right and keep pinging back and forth get out and I do remember my buddy at that time was saying what is your name, who are you, and things of that nature, and it gave us the name, and I cannot remember the name that it given us, but we said that name a couple times, and it just brought chills down my spine to hear those words get out so
Hmm.
clearly that you know it felt like it was a human just sitting down there and saying, "Get out, hey, get out, get out." I heard it with my own ears. It's also been recorded into we had an older VCR style type camcorder that was borrowed from his parents' house. And then when we played it back, you could hear it clearly on the tape too as well. And that's when I became a believer. Just, prior before that, I wasn't. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, it started back then, Gettysburg, PA, 2009, I
Okay.
want to say, about '09.
So, I was discussing before you came on, about like that EVP that you caught, what it says get out. Okay. Now you know that there's 7 different layers of the universe, correct? Different planes, you know.
Okay.
Did you ever sit down and think like, how does that happen? You know what I
I
mean?
honestly don't know. I just think it's fascinating to get to experience things of the unknown. Um,
Okay.
it's just I can't really wrap my head around why I experience certain things. Why do things happen? Why do we hear certain things that we hear? Why do we see certain things that we see? Or why don't we don't hear them or don't see them?
Hmm.
So it's really, up to, you know, one person to believe or not to believe.
Hmm.
So yeah.
That's I've been in it for a long time, and I just hear it. I hear the EVPs, and I remember Doreen. We went on an investigation one time, and it was up in Monroeville. And check this out, it was like crazy. And how we got up there, right? This guy got his secretary to call us, and he said he was, his wife was at work, and he was going to work, and he would
Okay.
just pull out of his garage, or he just got on to Monroeville, and he got a phone call from his house.
Wow.
Okay, got from now no one's in the house. Okay,
Huh.
yeah, and so he pulled over and he got into work and he pulled it out and listened to it and hear what it said, and this is true. Kill the nurse.
Oh.
Yeah, kill the nurse. All right. So that kind of like freaked him out, and that's what he got us to go out there.
Uh-huh.
And so me and Doreen went out, and so we usually did a walkthrough before we actually got into the actual investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh, somebody's there. Can you do, Jo? Can you please do that? And I don't know if I don't know what this is, but welcome to the show, buddy. Whatever that is. Okay. Thank you for being here. But so we get up there, and then so we do the EVP, do the walkthrough, and then I'm out there talking to the dude, and she comes out of the car and she's coming out of the car, saying, "You got to hear this, you got to hear this," and she broke out her EVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that she was recording, and um, what it said, you could hear her ask a question like, "How old are you?" And you can clearly hear 93.
Wow.
And when we played it for that our client, he said, "Oh my God, that's my dad." That was his voice. Now here's the other interesting about that thing. Um, his dad never did like his wife.
Huh.
You just got to chill, didn't
Yeah,
you?
that's wow. That's
Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot of things, but also with EVPs, there's also the downside around it because I also had an acquaintance that would go out and record, leaves rustling around the ground, right?
Hmm.
And he would put it on the program Audacity, and he would finagle it to where he was um, actually got those leaves to say a sentence. You know what I mean? Did you hear that?
That was me. You talk about the in the background, the little.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Did you hear? Yeah. So he got the leaves to rustle, and he actually made a sentence out of those leaves by manipulating the audio.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yes, and there is a lot of people out there that like to manipulate EVPs.
Okay.
Okay, um, people will go and they'll take EVPs and they think they heard something, and when they play it back, they don't hear it, but in their mind they do. So they mess with the sounds and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Try to
And
enhance them and
yeah,
use software
exactly.
to, yeah.
But you know what? For me, a good EVP, um, the only EVP that I would really accept and only accept are the ones that are not manipulated. Do you know what I mean on that?
Yeah, yeah. You don't
Hmm.
want to, alter any of the, the sounds of the, EVP. So yeah, I totally understand.
Hmm. So tell me about some of your other investigations that you went on.
Well, that besides the Gettysburg, that was kind of the highlight of me being a believer, and I became, interested in knowing what else is out there as far as, how to conduct an investigation, what equipment you need to buy, what's equipment to have. Um, I didn't know where to start. I didn't even know what a K2 meter was, back then. So, and I actually didn't really get involved with learning, the equipment or even learning how to do investigation until many, many, many years later. So I met a guy named Gus Stone from Redeeming Spirits here in New Kensington, PA. He's the one that kind of, lit a fire, so to speak, to got me to really understand the equipment and how to do an investigation just by being inspired by him. I started to study more and just learn about, how to do a proper investigation, watching him and him teaching me a lot of great things too. So thank you, Gus Stone, for that. I appreciate that. And yeah, I just kind of like beginning of this year start buying more equipment. I did go to this year. I went to actually no last year. I'm sorry. I went to Crescent. There's a asylum, morgue, church, jail facility that's been abandoned for some time,
Hmm.
and got some interesting, experiences there. We got to visit is it West Virginia? It's the West Virginia prison that's
Yeah, the
abandoned.
the West Virginia Penitentiary.
Yes, that's it. I got to
Hmm.
go there. Um, I got to, where else did I go to? I can't think of the other one, whatever it's called. There's a house off of Route 28 it's a historical house that's known to be haunted off Route 28. It's near Natrona Heights, PA, near
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. 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 I
yeah, I
know. I know.
forget the name of that house, but those are the little bit of things I've been to, and just me myself, I would, go to different areas, like a couple cemeteries that's known to be haunted, Gettysburg, PA, and I'm trying to go to more places. And now that let me kind of step back here a little bit with the whole paranormal. Let's put the whole paranormal over here. So I've indulged myself into just becoming a filmmaker and just filming. And with that being said, I love horror thriller type movies. So I love the twisted dark side of filming. So as I'm in the middle of writing a movie called It Hurts to Death, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should invest in some paranormal equipment and start filming paranormal stuff. So that's why I began doing that at the beginning of this year, and start buying equipment off of a buddy Gus, and just learning more and more about it. Now I have my mind set that I'm no longer filming weddings and just events and things of that nature. I want to focus on paranormal and filming, movies, short film, and things of that nature. So I'm buying equipment and just to try to enhance and to create really good paranormal content that's not made up. I'm not going to alter or edit any of the video footage. Whatever I catch is what you're going to see and is what I'm going to put out there. Maybe I'll try to enhance, contrast the video to kind of see it a little bit clearer. But other than that, it's going to be raw video footage of my experience going
Right.
forward. So, yeah,
Well, um, it, what's I'm grateful that you're doing that because, like I said, a lot of people have watched um, the TV shows and they
yeah,
have to stay there for a long time until they get something to put on TV. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Back in 2012, me and my friend Marty Patterson, he came up with the idea about doing a TV show called Raw Fear.
Okay,
And what Raw Fair consists of was taking like 6 to 8 kids, 18 to 22. That's how old they were, that
okay,
never investigated before, right? And so it was a 13 episode film, and it was on WPMY, my Pittsburgh TV. The only thing bad about it, we had to pay for that airtime for that hour. But
mm,
what the whole deal behind it was that with me being the producer of the show, if we went on in an investigation and we filmed it, okay,
okay,
we would, whatever we filmed, and whatever we edited, to cut it down to the hour that we needed, okay, we put it out there on the show. So there was like 2 or 3 shows that we put out there that had we didn't catch um, no paranormal activity at all.
activity. Yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of people would call me the following day and they said, well, why'd you put that up on TV? And I said, I just wanted to show everybody that not all paranormal investigations are like what you see on TV.
on TV. That's correct. And then you have, the folks out there who are doing paranormal, called paranormal entertainment, and that's fine. You watch TV to be entertained, and not knocking those guys who do great work in that field, but I ultimately want to see something that is surreal, that is, that's something that's from the unexplained. Show me something that, maybe, K2 meter going off with some type of intelligent responses from what you're saying, and the way that things are being manipulated. I want to see something that's believable, and I think that's what I, try to seek after. Now, like you said before, they take hours and hours before they catch anything. They sit there and they sit there, and they might catch a shadow here or two, or orb here and there, or maybe EVP or something that's unexplained. But and that's fine, and that's kind of where I've experiencing too. I'll go to places and I don't catch nothing. I'll film and film and film and nothing. So I'm not going to put that out there just because there's
Right,
nothing to show. I'm not
right.
going to waste people's time. But as of late, when I went to Gettysburg, I've been getting some really interesting, you know, um, just experiences with the REM pod being one. REM pod and just EVPs of just unexplained voices. So I can't wait to chop those up, edit those out, and put those on YouTube and just kind of build that channel, which is my second channel, Shaun White Plus. That's why you see Shaun White Plus there. That's just going to be my paranormal travel and urban exploration channel. So
Okay.
that's separate from Shaun White Films, which just be just short movies and short flicks and things of that nature. I kind of want to separate those audience, just from the content that I create. So, but yeah, that's it. I can't wait to get out there and start filming and getting, some IR lighting. That's kind of what I need, so I can really have my cameras can see it through the night. So those are coming soon. I got some trail cams coming soon as well. Yeah, I took your advice, so thank you for telling me about the trail cams. So I've been doing some really, really extensive research on trail cams. Anything that I invest in, does it make sense for me to purchase this? Will it work? And things of that nature. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, with your advice, with your expertise and your knowledge, and as long as you've been doing it, I really honed on, getting those trail cams. And there's 50,000 different ones, and there's
Right.
cheap ones, and there's really expensive ones, and just, all the information I gathered, you don't need, a billion and 1 megapixel trail camera.
No.
Get like a 24 megapixel is fine, but just me being a filmmaker and just understanding how cameras work, I do want something with at least 4K. If not, 1080p is fine. I see a lot of 720p, and you want that pixel density to be very my watch is going off. Sorry about that. I'm put it on silent. But you want that pixel density to be as broad as possible, so when you can blow up things, it doesn't look as not blurry, but pixelated, so to speak.
Right.
But um, and yeah, I just can't wait to really dive in that new sector of filming, capturing whatever is out there. You know,
Right.
um, I can't wait to see what I catch. So coming soon. So hopefully it's
What's
going to looks
really what's really
looks like another
cool.
trip to Gettysburg.
Yeah, but you know what? Especially, I was going to tell you, there were a couple times I went up to Gettysburg, and like I told you on Friday, I'm going to tell my people after listening to the show, is I would have 4 or 5 different trail cams. That's how much I believed in these things, because they
Wow.
were so good. And I would go on the battlefield right before they would shut down the park, right?
Hmm.
And I would place them in individual places on the battlefield. And I wouldn't go until I was ready to go home,
Right.
you know. And I caught some awesome, awesome pictures. And I also caught a lot of good animal pictures too.
Yeah, I kind of figured you probably caught some animal, some
Yeah,
possums, raccoons, and whatnot.
but
So yeah,
also I picked up some mist. I also picked up some shadows, no full blown apparitions and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I did show you a couple photos that I had the other night on Friday night, and
yeah.
they're just too good. I mean, it's called. I would have to say it would actually have to be luck, to be honest with you on that.
So if you could explain about those shadows, with the cameras, my understanding, depending on what model you get and whatnot, they have three different sensors. One's pointing forward, and you have two sensors that's pointing left and right of the trail camera. Now with the shadows, it's motion detect type of technology. Any type of motion, it's going to take a picture or video depending on what setting you have it on. So with the shadow, what is your thoughts about that? Is that something you think that's just
I
uh,
believe that with the shadow, I believe that it is an entity.
okay?
Okay. Um, shadow people do walk. Okay.
Okay.
They do crawl, but maybe it was just, I don't know. Maybe it could have been a spirit just walking by the cameras, but the way the light hit the spirit, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it could have made it appear as a shadow.
as a shadow.
Yeah. So here's my theory on shadow people. On shadow people. Okay. Um, and according to the movies, and according to the movies and TV and stuff like that, that shadow people are supposed to be bad. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Scary, and they're out to kill you and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean?
Like the Nun, the movie The Nun.
The Nun.
She's in the
Never
shadows.
saw that one before. The
It's a really good movie, The Nun.
Nun. Okay, but there is like a line. Okay, all right. There is. our side and their side, okay?
Okay.
And I believe, okay, and I believe that the spirit walks that fine line, that line there,
Okay.
that it actually picks up the shadow. The light on our side actually picks up the shadow, either or. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
That,
my theory on it, that they're just like walking the line.
it's interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but a lot of other people probably don't think that, or stuff like that. But that's okay. But listen, I need to take a real quick pause here, okay? Because what I want to do is I want to thank Carnation for sponsoring the second hour of Into the Night. I really appreciate you sponsoring my show, and again, thank you. So tell me, sir, tell me, at some, at some haunted places that you've been at, right? Um, how did you know? How did you feel, um, physically, mentally? I mean, were you nervous on the first time to Gettysburg? Were ecstatic? You know what I mean? Hyped up. How was your feeling? Oh, here's Tara. Hey, I want you to say hello to Tara. Whenever there she is. Hey, Tara.
Hey
Hello.
everyone, how are you?
Hey, this is Shawn.
Hey Shawn, how's it going?
Hello, Tara. This is Shaun. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, how you gonna tell? I mean, Shawn.
What's up, Kelly? Come on now. I know you long enough I can call you that.
That's funny. So, so I was just asking Shawn here how, whenever he went to Gettysburg or been on, some investigations, did he feel paranoid? Did he feel scared? Did he feel nervous? Did you
Oh,
care to
good
share?
question.
Yeah. So, and that's something I'm trying to figure out myself. You know, what am I as far as, am I a receiver? Am I a medium? I don't think, and I don't want to self-diagnose myself to say I'm this or that, whatever. A lot of the places I've been to that's known to be haunted, I don't feel anything. I feel excited because I'm excited to go, and as of late, I'm filming. So I'm excited to film. As a filmmaker, I love to film, and especially if I love to film something that I really love, which is paranormal and filming, put those two together, it's like peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love them both, So, there's only, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, there's only one place that really, I don't know how to explain it. It gives me a sense of being fully aware of myself. If you're in a dark alleyway and you're just like not in a really good spot, or you just kind of look around to make sure nobody's not going to rob you or something like that. That's how I felt when I went to Crescent. Just not really knowing too much of the history, just going there, and I'm the camera guy, and I just feel like there's something always watching me, but not scared. But I'm still doing my job. I'm filming and whatnot. But other than that, Gettysburg, as much as I love Gettysburg and even the experiences that we discussed earlier in the show, you know, I just feel excited. I feel excited. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I just want to do it. I want to
Hmm.
capture whatever I can capture. But other than that, that's about it. But Crescent is that got me. That got me to the point I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, but I was scared. I wanted to leave.
Right.
And
Okay.
yeah, so
I, in fact, one of my last investigations, I did go to Crescent, right?
oh, nice. Yeah.
And to be honest with everybody, you get mixed views up there. People get a lot of, evidence. A lot of people don't. Um, I didn't pick nothing up. Um,
Hmm.
I didn't even get no bad feelings from anybody around up there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Not from real people, but I don't know. I was disappointed at the time.
So
Now,
just the environment, you didn't really
no, it
feel.
was just like now, from what I understand up at Crescent, 1 week it can be like very, very active,
Okay.
but the next week, nothing. Do you know what I mean? No activity at all. What do you think, Tara?
I've never been there. I'm heading there in November, but I have heard
Nice.
in different things, in different places, like jail situations or certain types of hospitals and things, that it seems to be, 1 week it's this, 1 week it's that. So it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because, there might be a week where people are happy and there might be a week where people are miserable and they're ready for an uprise or whatnot.
Right. When you go there, make sure you go to the tunnels and also go visit the morgue. That's what we
Nice.
got. Yeah,
Oh
visit the
yeah.
morgue. Yeah, visit the morgue. I do believe I think it's attached to the tunnels somewhere. There's underground tunnels that connects to all the different buildings.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is your first time there,
Yep.
going there, I mean. So definitely visit the tunnels, walk the tunnels, and visit the morgue. Hope you catch something.
Yeah. Freighter's probably going to definitely want to go to the morgue.
Well, you know what? Honestly, for me, the only place that really did creep me out was the tunnels, right?
Yeah.
But what was crazy about the tunnels, they have little field mice that ran up and down the tunnels. And we
Huh.
heard noises and we were getting all distracted, like, what's that? What's that? What's that?
City boy.
Oh, and all of a sudden we just see little field mice walking, running up and down. Oh yeah, one followed us. I thought that was pretty cool. But besides that, I just wasn't impressed. I will tell you this, Tara, bring a golf cart with you because you do a lot of walking,
We
and
will.
there and
Yeah.
there's a lot. I mean, there's a pretty big distance away from each building. It's not they're like all together. Bring a golf cart with you. You'll definitely need it. I know if I ever go back up there again, I'm gonna bring a golf cart because there's no way in hell I'm gonna do that walking. Well, that was
Yeah, it's
another
a
reason why I wasn't really thrilled about it too, because I did a lot of walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so Tara, tell me and Shawn, what is your um, feelings on having the cameras, the video cameras, the still photo cameras, trail cams? What's your feeling on that in an investigation?
I like them, but you have to have a trained eye looking at them because a lot of people tend to matrix things out.
hmm,
So you need somebody that has a good camera eye or is used to looking at photos, examining the film, the footage, the pictures, because what I may see as a face, a camera person might know that, hey, that's pixelating or matrixing or something.
Okay, keep going.
So that's my thought on it. I think that it's a very good find. There's an easy way to find that if a picture or a video has been doctored. So I like it. I don't think it can be manipulated as easily as some of the different things. I love the fact that, you could do some type of, film to remember your investigation as well. And here's the thing too, the more eyes you have on something, the better it is, because what if you do have several people that are experts in filmography that can look at it and they pick up stuff that you missed?
wow. Wow. And Tara, if you mind me asking you, what is your favorite go-to camera for capturing paranormal activity?
So, honestly, I can tell you right now because you'll know more about it than me. My daughter was a softball player, so I bought this years ago. It's my
Okay.
Kodak. It's a Kodak Easy Share from a long time ago. It's a Z981.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so you have, a zoom rate of I think up to 26 or maybe 36 if I remember correctly, but you
Okay.
can also switch it to video. And then I
Okay.
also have a video camera, which I'm not quite sure what it is. It's still in my car from my investigation, but it's just a little, $100 video camera. But
Awesome. Awesome.
mhm.
Now, do you sorry, Sean Kelly, but do you have any IR lights in on your camera rig that you've made up for investigation? And how do you combat the darkness? And this is something that I'm learning myself as, as a filmmaker, as far as filming intended darker places, whatnot. And IR lighting, it's something that's kind of new to my radar. So, do you have
Right.
anything like that on your rig?
So my somebody that was in my previous group had an IR light in hers, and she was into it. With me, I usually just use my mag light next to it for lighting,
Okay.
and then I use my flash on my Kodak camera.
Okay.
I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that um, you can kind of get light. You know, a lot of people. Have you heard of the Spectrum camera?
Yes, the Spectrum.
Okay,
Yeah, I heard of that.
that is very very good to get. Okay, um,
Does Ghost
I
Stop sell it? Is it
you
Ghost
know
Stop, I
what
think?
I don't know if they do. I know there are some places that you can buy them online, but
Okay.
if you want to do your research on those lights, please do. I mean, they fit right on
Hmm.
your camera, and the pictures become a lot better.
Nice.
Seriously, they come my. It's crazy. Jason, my techie, when we had PPS, he had full spectrum cameras, and
Hmm.
he had all kinds of other spectrum cameras, and they were nice. I mean, he shot a picture, and they weren't green; they were actually purple, and you could actually, or
Nice.
pink, something like that,
Uh,
and you could
yeah.
actually see the outline of things. And
Yeah.
so, a lot of people are really big on the spectrum cameras. Yeah, the
I also
IRs.
like that FLIR. You had that
Well,
FLIR camera the one time we went to the house, and we were able to take pictures of you in the FLIR camera.
yeah, the flare's a very good one.
Hmm.
Um, and what they have, you don't have to go out and buy the $2,500 flare camera. Okay, there's a one that you can get on Amazon that it actually connects to your iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it's just this small. A lot of people do have that. Um, so Sebastian said, "This is my buddy. He's been with me since we started." Sebastian says, "Great show tonight as usual. Very informative. Good advice on the right gear for an investigation slash Virgil." Okay, man, that was nice words. Thank you, Shawn. Appreciate it, Sebastian. That was good. But so how was your week here, Tara? What anything interesting happened with you?
So I went on an investigation with my new group, and we went to the Ross house, and we got some good yes or no questions and some great evidence there. We were visited by a ghost there. We had some good dialogue with him, and I'm not going to say names in case people go out to investigate because I'm one of those
Yeah.
people I don't know anything when I go out. I learned that from somebody. I'm not going to say who, Shawn, but but yeah, it was funny because like I was feeling guilty because I wasn't with my original group, and like I had been with that group for over 10 years, and then I look up and I see my original mentor on the wall, Shawn, and I sent them
Mm,
a picture. So that made me feel a lot better. But I love this new group. We're a great network. It
please
was
don't put
fun.
me on a pedestal.
No, but you were my original mentor, so I have to
Right,
thank
but don't
you.
put me on a pedestal. I'm all
I don't. I don't.
right.
You're just a wee Irishman.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, and I do want to wish to all my witches and pagan friends out there happy Lammas because it's the halfway point between summer and fall.
Nice. Nice.
So they're all baking bread and having fires tonight. So it's the first harvest.
We're making bread on UPRN Talk Radio. We're making the bread. Yes,
See?
definitely. But Shawn, that and speaking of witches and paganism, um, what is your feeling about the Wiccan witches, paganism?
To be honest, I don't have really knowledge of what that is to really say how I feel. Um, I know they exist, but as far as what they do and any additional information about that, that's all new to me.
But so the, that it would be nice if you can learn a little bit about it because believe it or not, honestly, it is part of paranormal investigating.
Okay.
Okay. Um, do you believe in leprechauns and fairies?
Not leprechauns and fairies. At least I
Ah,
don't. At least I don't. At least I don't
dude,
think they exist.
what are you trying to do here, man? Oh my God.
I
So
mean,
the first,
leprechauns and
go ahead.
I was gonna say leprechauns and fairies. Let me just sh- show you or my take on it. So leprechauns and fairies, as you know, the famous leprechaun movies.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
absolutely.
we
Yeah.
watched them before. Um, I always thought that that was something that's made up, and I could be wrong. If somebody would tell me otherwise, then I'm willing
Hmm.
to learn. I'm willing to what's that word I'm looking for? Just show me the way. Fairies. I think of fairies like the I don't know if that's the same type of fairy, the tooth fairy. Am I saying that, or am I in the same category? But
Yeah,
You'd
I
have to
never
ask Tara that one, buddy.
I've
yeah.
never I've never gave it any thought. I think that would be the better way to describe my thoughts on it. I never gave it any thought about if it's real or if it's fake. I guess I automatically shut it down
Hmm.
because of Hollywood with the Leprechaun movies and just things I see on TV. Guess almost in the same categories as zombies. I'm sure they're fake too as well. I love zombies. I'm a huge zombie person. I love shooting them on Xbox and things of that nature. But if you were to ask me, is that real? I would quickly say no. Just like as you asked me about fairies and leprechauns, I quickly said no.
Right.
So unless some individual will say, hey, here's proof, or this is what I have for you, look at it, study it, whatever, et cetera, to maybe deviate my mind or change my mindset about that said, topic, then yeah, I'm very open to learning and just knowing new things I haven't learned before. So
Oh my God. When I first started, before I actually got into the ghost hunting, I really got into the Native American spirituality, the
okay,
Lakota Sioux. Okay. And they talked a lot about animal spirits. Okay.
okay,
And then as time went on, I started to learn a little bit more about the pagans. Okay,
okay,
which were the leprechauns, the fairies, the gnomes, stuff like that. Okay,
okay,
and it just seems like when I started off, it was like nonstop, just learning, learning, and learning, and learning, and learning about every possibility of um, any kind of paranormal, spiritual happenings. Okay, now when I started with chasing prophecy, okay, I didn't know a damn thing about aliens. I didn't know a damn thing about Bigfoot, dogmen, all them, okay,
right,
until I started to have shows, okay. We had different guests on, and again, it went from UFOs into aliens, into Bigfoot, into dogmen, do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
what for me, it was just interesting for everything that was shown to me, and learning about it. I just wanted more. I absorbed so much,
I have the same
and
mindset.
yes, exactly. So if you do, and I mean, with you being a filmographer, whatever, um,
Videographer,
yeah, that,
filmmaker, videographer,
yeah,
yeah,
filmmaker, you know, there's going to be some people that might want some content of a Bigfoot or some kind of content of the little people, you know, magic, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
hmm,
if I could make a suggestion to you, just a suggestion,
yeah,
is just learn
absolutely,
a little bit more and more and more about the different elements of uh, the spirit world, the paranormal, because there's a lot more. Because you got You got demons, you got angels, you got imps, you got all kinds of crap going on.
And what I did too, like since I knew we were going to be doing people, I've always been interested in religions and spirituality. So I just started learning, each spirituality, each religion, because, if you went into a Catholic house and started saying something from Judaism, that would be like really bad. So I've always studied different types of religions and spirituality as well.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes, and it's always good. It was always good to know a little bit of each different thing. Like when back in '91, when I actually really started into this, um, I was I somebody was introduced me, and they taught me how to meditate. Then they taught me about um, different things that are going out in the world and something metaphysical. Okay, and then someone connected me with somebody who worked with angels, and then right after that it was demons. Like everything was just falling in seat. And for me, that's where I got to where I am right now, because like Tara said, there's going to be times whenever you go into an investigation and you don't know really what's going on. You'll have a little bit of a background, you know, knowing, hey, how am I going to help these people, So it's good with that. Um,
And I think that's where I kind of had a deciding point to where for what I do, um, I guess kind of nose diving into this, paranormal content creating thing, I guess if you want to call it. Um, let me back up. So, being with Gus Stone, Redeeming Spirits, he's a, demonologist and a paranormal investigator. He helps people, he cleanses, sages, and, he finds what's going on, recognizes it, and he also films it the best way he can. He's filming is not really his thing, but he tries to, he'll film and do what he can. But he's really good at, finding, getting some very intelligent responses and, and helping individuals. Let's say if it's a house that's haunted and removing the spirits and I don't want to dive too deep into that because I don't want to talk about something I don't really know about. But from what I'm seeing, from what I'm observing from the outside looking in, he helps those individuals and gets rid of whatever's going on. Now, and I think when he reached out to me last year and he saw that, I was a really good videographer and he saw some of my content before and he wanted me to film him. So that's what me and him kind of got together. And that's where I got my passion and really just started buying my own equipment to the equipment I have today. But anyhow, I think now that I think about it, I just want to really create paranormal content the best way I can, and also learning in the process too as well. And as far as helping individuals with problems, in their house, home, commercial building, lots, whatever you may have, I think that will be something I probably won't dive into too much
Hmm.
okay.
because, I guess I have a limit. And, my limit is, you film, 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 and then I partner with other people who can bless, sage, help, and all those other terminologies I'm probably missing. I'm pretty sure there's a lot. And then, with those two people together can create a really good team to, help and then also film,
Right.
the process. So I think that's where I fall in is, you know, I'm willing to learn, but I'm not going to put myself out there as someone who can help an individual or family or individuals to get rid of whatever's going on.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, dude.
So yeah, so
That makes a
that's where I
lot of
stand.
sense. And
Yep.
thank you for sharing that, because not all investigations are to helping people. You know what I mean? Give me a good cemetery on a Saturday night. There's a place out in North Park called Blue Miss Road. Okay, and
Okay.
that's extremely haunted. Extremely haunted. In fact, I'll have to take you out there. You know what? Because I'm telling you, it'll creep your ass out. I'm telling you.
Now, places like that attract me. When I hear people talking about good, places, whatever it may
Hmm.
be, I get my spider senses going. It's like, great, I can grab this camera, I can get that. Let's go out there. Let's go. Let's grab the REM pod or whatever. Um, and I guess I'm in it more for the filming content of it, because I think it's very fascinating.
Hmm.
Although I don't know if you remember speaking about a gentleman. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but who was really antagonizing, or could I say maybe could possibly irritate the spirit or whoever was in that particular house by saying, "Come on, touch me, scratch me, blah blah." I'm no professional, investigator, paranormal investigator, but I know, just thinking logically, that's something you do not want to do. I don't want
Hmm.
to make any entity or spirit upset with me or bring on any type of unwanted spirit that maybe I could have made mad. So this individual, you know, was kind of, not really upsetting to me, but just I think he's went about it the wrong way. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen, and then if it happens, you thank you, I appreciate it, and just be polite, just like if there were people, but and that's kind of where I fall in, as far as
Okay.
going back to being a creator, a filmmaker, or creating content that's in the paranormal. So
That, and to me, that is awesome because there's really not too many people out there that actually do that. Okay. And
Yeah.
believe it or
Are you,
not,
are,
there are groups out there that do need people like you just to go with them just to film. You know what
I
I
hear
mean?
that all the
Yeah.
time, Shawn. I hear that all the time. I think that's why, buddy of mine, Gus, he's like, man, I don't want to lose you. You're never going to lose me. But I'm always here. I'm always going to film,
Right.
something of paranormal, at least probably till I die. So I'm never, and I'm just going to get better and better at it. And the more understanding, I'm always learning, Shawn. We're all always learning.
Oh
So
yeah.
God, yeah.
yeah, we're always learning. So, and then I have a high interest in all things paranormal.
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, making
Nice.
better
So,
content.
do you have any questions for Sean, Tara?
What do you think of using drones? Do you use those in your filmography?
Yes, I do. So I do have a couple set of drones. I'm a big DJI product guy. So when I go to a particular place, I'll drone the area, kind of give
Hmm.
like the viewers a scope of where we're at, any type of, B-roll is what we call it. Just anything that's related to the place that we're at, film that. But drones, I love my drone. I love flying them. I love getting that aerial shot, if it's, videos or pictures or whatnot. But yes, I do have a couple drones.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the 360 approach and viewing it from above and just getting a
Yes.
feel for where you're at, that kind of thing. So, you know, you,
Ab-
you could be filming somebody talking about being in the middle of a courtyard and nobody really understands the scope of how big the courtyard or how small the courtyard is, depending on, where you're at. Or if you're in the woods and you're deep in the thick of it, you can drone through that and,
yep,
somebody sees a Sasquatch, they kind of have an
absolutely.
idea of where they're at in the woods.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That's just from being a filmmaker, that's something that you want to, show the audience, like you said, how vast and how big the area that we're talking about, so you got to have those aerial shots to where I physically can't jump over trees and film. So you got to have a drone or two, to create that tell that story or create that content that otherwise you can't do it on foot. So
Right.
And I like the use of drones, and something I had thought about recently is if there's some type of evidence that happens and people are wondering, are you guys truly alone wherever you are? You can, you know, throw a drone up in the air real quick and
yeah,
show that, hey, there's nobody walking around.
absolutely. That's actually I never. Thank you
Never thought
for
of that
sharing
one,
that.
buddy.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's actually a good one. I'm gonna have to still that idea if I
Mhm.
can.
No, go
Now,
ahead.
do
No,
you,
I honestly I've never brought it up to anybody. I thought about it because my son's in the military and they want him to be a drone guy.
Okay.
And it was just something I was thinking about, in my mind last night actually when I was thinking about him doing all of the Call of Duty games all these years and playing with veterans all these years, you know. So, I mean,
now,
Shawn's known him, well, I've known Shawn over 20 years and my son's going to be 20, so he's known my son since before birth pretty much. So,
Wow,
yeah, he's a
that's
good
amazing.
kid. He's a grunt. He's a
yep,
Marine.
he is.
He's
He
a
is a
grunt.
grunt
But Sean,
official.
back to your drones. Okay, what
Okay.
kind of cameras do you have on those? Do you have infrared? Do
Um,
you have night vision?
Unfortunately, no. On the drones that I have, the DJI Mini 3 has a 48 megapixel sensor. I think Sony sensor that's on those drones. Um, and they're just regular, you know, drones. Nothing
Okay.
special. I didn't buy any filters or anything like that. However, I am looking for, at least for filming on the movie side of it, I'm looking to get into some filters and things of that nature. But as far as you know, night shooting, I don't have anything. I have to really look into that to see if anything like that exists. Uh, I'm, I'm assuming it does. I don't
Hmm.
know what it is and what type of attachment that I can possibly get, but I haven't flown my drone at night. Usually, typically, they say to stay away from night flying because you can lose your drone. Although my one drone has little lights on the bottom and it'll blink, but
So you're the UFO out there in New Kensington that
yep,
everyone's talking about.
busted, busted. But yeah, I don't, don't really fly my drone at night. But yeah, I have to look into that. Something I'll look into in the future, see what I can do.
Yeah.
Boy, you have so much to look into, which I'm really happy for. And I hope that me and Tara could help you
Sure.
with your journey through all this for you. You know.
Yeah, and maybe hopefully I can help, the both of these guys. I mean, I know Tara, it looks like you're actively, conducting or going to investigations. So, even, one of the investigations you do go, you can always, call me and say, hey, Shawn, are you available on this date? And I can say yay or nay. And if it's a yay, I can come with my equipment, maybe help film, or just be a part of it. And just like I said to you last week, and Shawn, when I conduct investigations, mine will probably be a little bit simpler compared to Tara's. But you can come with me, or just get a group of people together and just go. So I'm all about going and being part of whoever's team, if it's mine or if it's somebody else's. But at the end of the day, I like to film it. So
As man, you're a good dude because there's not too many people out there that will want to do what you do. You know what I mean? And I know some. I know some videographer guys, and they're good. There's a couple I know that are good and really nice. But
yeah, I know a lot.
I know a lot of other ones that aren't. And they're really demanding and they're really picky on setting up the light for this and setting the shot up for this and that. And I'm like, no, dude, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? It just
Well,
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
there's some people
Well,
think they know it all.
no, I know. And that's not really cool when they do. We have about 17 minutes left here. And Shawn, now I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk about your business. Okay?
Okay, I appreciate that. Well, my name is Shawn with Shaun Films is my native YouTube channel, Facebook, IG, think Threads now, Snap, all the social media out there. And I started that in the beginning thinking that I was going to do just weddings. That's all I was going to do. Just filming weddings and maybe some small events, which I still do on the side upon request. As my first year came to an end, I realized that I need to express my own creativity. What does Shawn want to do? So I kind of sat down with my thoughts and realized that, hey, I want to film horror movies and I want to film paranormal and urban, what do you call it, exploration. When you explore like abandoned places and things of that nature, those are the things that I love to do. Obviously, when you're doing weddings, I get paid really good money to film and create other people's memories, which is good. It's fine, nothing wrong with that. But when I'm doing the things that I want to do, I'm not getting paid at all. I'm doing it out of my heart, just out of love of doing it. So that's why I started Shortwave Plus, which is my secondary YouTube channel with no videos on it so far. I have a quite bit to upload, and some of it, a lot of it's already edited. I actually took it down from Shortwave Films, and I'm going to put it up on Shortwave Plus. That way, I can separate my audience for those people who don't really, who aren't into the paranormal. They just want to see videos or movies or short films. They don't want to see paranormal. They don't want to see, be exploring, abandoned Kmart or something like that. So, and I also want to be different from other channels out there. You get channels who are just strictly paranormal, channels are strictly travel, channels are strictly, exploring abandoned buildings. So I want to merge all three together. So Shawnway Plus is what I've created. And now I'm just in the middle of putting content together. I have two more things I have to shoot. That's old bookings of mine. But once I get that last wedding out the way, I'm going to dive directly into just pushing content, filming, pushing content as much as possible and see what happens. So my own creativity, my own happiness, and I'm just happy to meet folks like you, Shawn. Just a week ago, and
Mhm.
hopefully I can meet other individuals who are into either the paranormal, who like to explore, abandoned places and travel and things of that nature, and people who also like to film horror movies and things of that nature. So I'm just a busy man all around. And that's what kind of Shawn Wave Films, the Shawn Wave umbrella, kind of just separate there, but all under
Mhm.
Shawn Wave. So that's why I catch Shawn Wave Films or Shawn Wave Plus. So that's who I am. Just you can catch me on YouTube, Shawn Wave Films, or Shawn Wave Films, or Shawn Wave Plus on YouTube, and Shawn Wave Films on Facebook. Um, Eventually, I'll have everything tagged together to where you can just keep, you know, subscribing to either my YouTube or just follow me on Facebook or IG. So I'm slowly getting things together. So give me about another month, I'll have everything right where I want it to be.
Well, you know what? In about a month, when everything is up and running for you, we'll have you back
Right.
on the show again.
Awesome.
Okay,
Awesome. Yeah.
and then we'll give you the opportunity to really do a little bit more, advertising your place. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it. Thank
Advertising
you.
your
Appreciate it.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. You know what? I'm the type of person, um, that I believe that everybody deserves a chance on what they like to do. Okay,
Right.
and um, without being egotistical, me, I by saying that, if I see somebody like you, like Tara, like Natasha, like Frater, whatever, if they're doing something, okay, and if I have the opportunity to get them some advertising out there, or for them to speak, on what they like to do, I'm on it in a heartbeat. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why I like this platform, because we go all over the world on this thing. Okay, we do.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. Whenever I get the numbers tonight, I'll tell you how many followed us tonight. But that's not just it about the numbers. It's just that you know regular, ordinary people, normal Joes and Janes, stuff like this podcast. It gets you out there. It gets your name out there. Do you know what I mean? Um, But for me, when I first started the paranormal, I had a huge ego, dude. Okay, I had a huge ego, and Spirit kind of slapped me across the face and said, "You know what? You better, take it down a couple notches." And that's what I did. You know, and if I ever, even Tara too, and her group, and there's so many people out there. If they have the opportunity to help people get ahead, we're there. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And yeah, so I'm sure we'll be talking some more, and I'm sure, I'll take you to places and I'll let you do your filming, and maybe we can do like a video thing about my life as a paranormal investigator. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like a documentary. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
done
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I've filmed one documentary
Mhm.
of an individual before. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. That's things that
That'd be
I am
cool.
experienced in. Yeah,
I mean, there's a
that'd be
lot of people that want to know my story. There are, and I'm not being rude or negative about that or ego, but there's a lot of people, and I need, I think I should get it out there. Not for, being egotistical. That's my favorite word, egotistical today. But I don't want it for the fame because, you know, I'm very well known out there. Okay, so I don't have to go out and um, tell everybody, look at this. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I just want to put my story out there without writing it in a book, if you know what I
The
mean.
book. Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
write.
absolutely. That's something we can talk in the future, and
That'd be great.
we'll get together privately and talk about that. Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tara, how about you? Do you have any more questions for our friend Shawn here?
What area are you out of?
I live in New Kensington,
Oh,
PA.
okay. I live in Butler, so we're not that far away.
Oh yeah, Butler. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
by the China
I,
factory that I've been wanting to go to.
okay. Okay. That's not far from here at all. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Newcastle.
actually
Yeah,
worked in Newcastle, and I had no idea that that was there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So yeah.
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 That's on my radar. To see if I'm able to walk it. I don't think it's haunted or anything like that. At least I don't think so. But that's one of
A good
my
urban or exploration place. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I have an idea to talk to you about in private as well, where you can probably film here in Butler that's coming up. So it might be a
Nice,
good for you too. So
nice, nice.
And just think that's two things you get to work on. And how can people get a hold of you, dude?
So you can get a hold of me through social media is the best way. It'll be Shaun Wave Films, and then just send me a
Shawn,
message.
that's with the U, everybody.
Yeah, with the U, ShaunWavefilms, Shaun Wave Films on my Facebook channel, and or Shaun Wave Films on YouTube, spelled the same way. You have a little black background with a diamond, Shaun Wave Films. That's my logo, and just 98% of the people get a hold of me through Facebook, and they just send me a message through Facebook Messenger. Um, I do have the email, at Shawn.Lawrence, Lawrence, at ShawnWaveFilms.com. And it goes directly to me. If you're an email type of person, then there you go. So either way, I'll respond to both.
Okay, I'm typing this in. you know, where everybody can get a hold of you. I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. Um, there was a lot of, it was a very good, interesting conversation with you. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um,
Likewise.
is there any last thoughts you would like to say, Tara, to Shawn before we let him go?
it was a pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna watch this tomorrow when it gets put up, so I can watch the first hour to, get to know you a little bit better. But yeah, it was nice to see you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Shawn, you having me on here. This is kind of my first podcast, period, at all. So I was a little nervous
Cool.
at first, but I am a people person, so once I get in front of the camera, I'm okay. But yeah, thank you for
Okay.
having me on. Appreciate it.
All right. I will be in contact later on in the week with you. Okay, my friend?
Okay, looking forward to it.
All right. Have a good night.
We'll see ya. You too. Have a
Take
good
care,
night.
Shawn.
Hey, what's up, girl?
I am doing okay. How are you, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. I was just talking about earlier in the show about how nice and cool it's been here in Pittsburgh. I don't know what the weather's been like. Oh, you're getting you had to put a shirt on, huh?
Sweater. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So I have really enjoyed Shawn being on the show.
Yeah, he's a nice kid. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
should call him a
I
kid.
really believe, honestly, I really believe okay, that spirit is supposed to send people to you, okay?
Yeah.
And it goes to show that there's no such thing as coincidences. Everything happens for a reason, okay? There's no such thing. And that's the way I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Everything that happens. And I just went to visit my friend up there Friday night. She asked me to check the house out, and there Shawn was. You know what I mean? So it was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
and got him on here, and then learned a little bit more about where he's coming from, and so tonight was definitely a good show.
Awesome.
Really,
I like your
really.
haircut, by the way.
What, my haircut?
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, I know. I like, what was it? Monday, I was off, and I said, I got to get this crap cut. You know what I mean? So, so I showed a picture. I sent a picture of Paul to my son Paul. Before I got the haircut, and he said, "Oh, that beard's like really, really long, Dad. It's really long." And so I said, "I'll show your ass." Right. So what I did was I went and I got my haircut, but haven't touched my beard. You know what I mean?
Good.
I
You're
mean,
the
this is
captain.
this is my trademark here. This is the trademark. If I
Well,
ever
how can
shave
you
that,
be the captain without it, my dude?
no, true. But just think, if I did shave this off, oh my God, people will have heart attacks all over the place and be like, "Oh no, grow the beard back, grow the beard back."
You have the
But
face of a baby.
don't go there. But
I'll tell you.
how's your son doing? How's John?
He's doing well. He's loving the dorms. He's liking all of the activities they're doing.
Okay.
A group just got back from deployment, so they're kind of in a flux right now, but they're all getting, adjusted. And his roommate Boyette was with him over at Geiger, and we love him. He's amazing. His family lives down that way. I've invited him to holidays and different things. So I don't think he's gone yet, but because we've been down there for different things. So
Hmm.
yeah, getting pretty excited.
Have
So
they been on any like things where they're still like hearing paranormal stuff around on the bases down there?
not yet. He's getting kind of excited about checking it out down there, but I cannot. Lejeune is massive. So
Is it
like it's a whole new ball game for him. You know what I'm saying? Well, you probably know.
right?
You've probably been there.
No, I've
But
never been to Lejeune. I have no reason for me to be on a Marine base. I am a United States Navy veteran, not a freaking Marine. So I just
yeah,
want you
but
to
you
know
still
that.
have to give a ride here and there.
Oh no, we're their Uber drivers. But you
Yeah, I
know
know.
what? Everything's okay up here. Had a good week. You know, life was a little bit tough here and there, um, but
Yeah.
I managed. Okay, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull a card out for everybody. Okay, and you all know that I do this most of the time. But what I want to do is I'm going to pull a card out, and it's going to be an animal uh, medicine card. And like you all know, I'm really big and really heavy into the animal spirit guides. So the card that I'm going to pick out tonight is for everybody. If you can use it, sure. If you can't, that's okay. You can wait next week. But what I would like you all to do is that the animal that I show you, I want you to Google it. We'll just say wolf, okay? And Google wolf totems, okay? Or eagle totems or mouse totems. Google them, and it will tell you, it will explain to you the reason why this card was pulled for you. So here we go. Already shuffle and already cut. And the card is the snake. The snake. And the snake is transformation. Okay. And what I mean by transformation, everybody, I can give you a little background on the snake. Okay. You know how a snake sheds its skin. Okay. So whenever you're the snake and you're moving around, and all of a sudden you start shedding your skin. And once the skin like completely goes off of you, then you're starting a brand new life. So you're going through a transformation from the life that you are, the situation that you're in, and it's going to start a new one once all that skin is off. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say to the people, Tara, before I go into my spiel at the end of the night, at the end here?
Just enjoy the full moon, and happy Lammas to all of those who celebrate, and have a blessed week.
Okay.
I'll see you on our run later.
On the what? Oh, you're running tonight? Okay. We'll see. That'd be cool. But everybody, listen, thank you again for stopping in tonight on the show, my show and Tara's show, Into the Night. We had a good guest, and hopefully we can find a good guest next week. Who knows what's going to happen next week, but thank you again for being here tonight. I want to thank Shawn Lawrence for being on tonight of Shaun Wave Films. He had a lot of good things to say. But you know, it is not mental illness month. But I just want to remind people that if you see somebody that is hurting, okay, or someone's not talking, you know, go over there and sit with them. You know, sit with them, talk with them, and kind of show them that you care, okay? Because in this day's world going on, it's really rough. It's really, really bad. And we definitely need more people to start helping other people. And children, I need you to, let me get here. Children, what I'd like you to do is please go to your parents, all right? Go to your parents. And what I'd like you to do with your parents is give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you don't have nobody, no parents, no children to hug, find a friend to hug and tell them that you love them. Because you know what? Those are 3 words, I love you, they go so, so far away. Don't forget, we got Trish Moe, The Missing Piece, coming up right after this show. So please stick around and listen to Trish. You're going to enjoy her show. She is very knowledgeable. She's a good podcaster. She's a very good person, you know, so please stick around on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And please, thank you again for watching my show tonight in Tara's. So on that note, good night. Happy hunting.
You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com.
All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. Yes, it is that time of year again. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, UFO Undercover, in the category of entertainment. UFO Undercover brings you some of the most revealing and current research that is being done with respect to alien abductions and contact